An increasing number of Conservative MPs, many of them in marginal constituencies, are urging the Chancellor not to go ahead with his plans for rail fare rises. We talked about this last week. The increases average 6.2%, about twice the rate of inflation. They'll come in January. One MP, the Conservative Mark Reckless, said this week that the cost of rail fares had already forced some of his constituents in Kent to get up at 5 in the morning and travel into London by coach. What must that be like? We asked our reporter Michael Buchanan to set his alarm clock.
It's just after 6 o'clock in the morning. The birds have cleared their throats out. One or two people are beginning to wake up here in the Isle of Grain in East Kent. It's an industrial part of the county surrounded by power stations, and I'm actually about to leave it, catching bus service 761, which will take approximately 2 hours to get me from here into central London. What turn, are you going to be driving me to London? You don't have the problem of leaves on the line, but you do have the problem of traffic into London.
Yeah, we do. There is trouble. Broken down vehicle can cause half an hour tailback or something. You can avoid it. There is ways of going around it if it's in the right place and you can do it. Sometimes you've got no choice but to sit in it, like if the Blackwall Tunnel was closed.
The coach is modern, it's air conditioned, and it's quite comfortable. A little bit juddery perhaps on one or two of the rural roads.
How are you?
Two things that are noticeable of it being in a coach rather than on a train is that everybody firstly has a seat here, and secondly, there is a sense of friendliness amongst many of the commuters here.
We're like coach buddies, honestly. Sort of build up relationships really, because the journey is sort of 15 hours a week.
You've got to like the person you're sitting beside.
Yeah, sort of.
Perhaps the greatest advantage of the coach is, of course, the cost. We've been picking up passengers around the town of Strood, which is a rail link to London. A peak time rail return is between £25 and £32, depending on which train you get. It's £16 on the coach, and an annual season ticket by coach costs £2,500. By train, it can cost as much as £4,400.
I'm not sure what it was now when I first looked. It was over £1,000 difference. So that's the reason why I catch the coach. The prices on the coach were frozen this year. They didn't go up, unlike the trains that went up. The coaches didn't.
If fares came down a bit on the rails, would that make you think again?
Yes, because obviously it'd avoid the traffic. I suppose it would make me think about it, yeah.
And have you noticed this coach getting busier as rail fares have gone up?
Yeah, I catch the last stop and there's times when this is full and I can't get on it, so I have to wait for the next one.
The argument about the rail fares is that somebody has to pay for the investment, and if the subsidies increased, then it's perhaps maybe taxpayers in Newcastle who are maybe subsidising commuters in London area.
We always pretend to be a world leader and everything, but yet we've got the highest rail fares in Europe. Maybe they should go and learn a lesson from some other countries in Europe. There must be a way of reducing our fares. It's a problem with privatisation.
Too early.
Yeah, too early.
Privatisation.
Yeah, that's correct. When you've got shareholders to pay out and pension funds to keep them, I think it's just going to drive your prices up.
The company that run this coach service, Clark's, say they can draw a straight line virtually between increases in rail fares and increases in their passenger numbers.
My name's Terry Newman. I'm the General Manager at Clark's of London Coaches. We're now seeing the passengers come back to coaches. A lot of passengers are on fixed incomes. Rail fares keep going up, they've got to find that out of their pocket. I think we were somewhere in the region of about 10 or 12% on the last increase.
That was in January when rail fares went up, you saw a 10 or 12% increase?
Yes, we did, over all of our routes.
This is us approaching our first stop in London then, Canary Wharf. Approximately an hour and 20 minutes after the bus set off from the Isle of Grain.
Thank you. See you later.
Love you all. Bye.
Take care. See you, mate.
Michael Buchanan reporting, 5:45. Here's Susan.